Greetings. Welcome to In Conversation with Trevor Startup Series in partnership with the Eight2Five Innovation Hub powered by Old Mutual Zimbabwe. Until the Ideas Festival in October 2024, we'll be focusing on startups and their founders. Where did they get the ideas for their businesses? What challenges have they come across and how have they overcome those challenges? We're going to be focusing also on the exciting value creation challenges, the doors that it has opened for startups and their founders. Please join us for this impactful series of learnings, ideas, and inspiration. If you enjoy this episode, remember to subscribe, to like, and to share. Let's get down to some business. Samuel Matsekete, welcome to In Conversation with Trevor Startup Series. You've been here before, 4 years ago.
I'm very happy to be here, and thank you very much for welcoming me back.
You've been
Trevor.
difficult to pin down, but I'm delighted we finally get to sit down. Before we go anywhere, I must say thank you so much to Old Mutual supporting the Ideas Festival. Your presence at the festival last year in November added so much value to the gathering. So thank you so much for that.
Always most welcome.
So when you came here last time, you wore a different hat altogether. You're now the group CEO of Old Mutual Zimbabwe. In a nutshell, how is the hot seat?
I'm not quite sure it's still a hot seat.
Right.
I've been there now 4 years.
Yeah.
But if you think about it in terms of what issues we have to deal with, what challenges, what opportunities, perhaps in that regard, it remains a hot seat. I'm enjoying the heat, the challenge. I'm also enjoying, working with the team at Old Mutual, which, by the way, Trevor, if you would remember, I'm only rejoining, or I rejoined.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. So, Sam, we're here specifically to look at the great job that you're doing with startups, which are housed under your Old Mutual Innovation Division. Talk to me about the inspiration and the big picture behind the Old Mutual Innovation Division.
Thank you. So I think to understand the work that we do at the Innovation Hub, that's Eight2Five Innovation Hub, one would have to start from where Old Mutual is actually sitting or standing in regard to that. So under our responsible business approach, we seek to invest in the communities where we operate.
Right.
We believe very strongly in promoting and developing those communities that we serve. And we also seek to ensure that we are relevant both to the times that we are operating, but also to the issues of the moment. Mm-hmm. When you look at the Zimbabwean economic landscape, we do see the need to support startups, but support them in a way that promotes them to do business or to prosper in their endeavors, with the benefit, of just thinking about how to do it sustainably over the long term.
Right.
And our heritage of being in business over this long, we believe, lends itself very well to be modeling or to participate in our humble ways in modeling these startups so that they can also look at whatever they are doing with that horizon of the long term. And one of the things that you would see us doing is seeking to then promote initiatives in partnership with other players that are aligned to that agenda. The work at the Innovation Hub is really focused on just that, to say how do we make ourselves relevant to the needs of startups, small businesses, entrepreneurs, very brilliant ideas that they have, but they need to be mentored so that what they have as ideas and maybe have already been transformed into a small business can start to be something they see grow sustainably into the future. And that's how we have designed it.
Tell me, what are the sectors, any particular sectors that you're zeroing in on? I'm imagining that there's going to be somebody watching there with their little idea or big idea, and they're saying, what sectors, what categories do you look at?
We look at all innovations. So if an idea is innovative, if a startup is creative and is promising, or it's just an interesting idea, we believe that with assistance, they can convert it into a business which can operate viably into the future.
Yeah.
We will consider it. But obviously, priorities will be aligned to what the economic agenda is also focusing on, what special interest groups are involved. So the youths will always be, one of our priorities. But you also see us seeking to promote innovation, sustainability, responsible business, like we would also uphold responsible business as Old Mutual. And, if they are answering to a particular problem or challenge in the economy, where we believe if they can be assisted, there will be a big solution to that area. Those are some of the factors that we would be looking at.
I've seen from the team that came to the Ideas Festival, there was a sense around TechFin, around InsurTech. Is that something that you are seeing coming up, or what's the sense with that?
So the ones that you would have seen at the last Ideas Festival would have been probably a sample of what you have.
Right.
So definitely under innovation, fintechs. I think globally you're seeing fintechs, digitalization becoming a very big theme, but also a big cause for business, if they want to look at how they will be sustainable into the future.
Right.
Because that's part of the landscape that we are seeing evolving. But you would also see some that were involved in elements of environment. For example, there is one who is involved with recycling waste.
Yes.
Again, answering to how do we ensure that we are responsible, in the way that we do business in terms of how we treat the environment, or create solutions out of what might be waste and start to create value out of that, given that sometimes we have to be thinking about inputs that are not always readily available.
Sure.
So recycling becomes a business case, whether it's to talk about import substitution or to talk about how you can create, enhanced value out of something that would have been wasted. So those are some of the ones that you'd have interacted with. You'd have also interacted with some that are in tech, pure tech, and they are creating solutions addressing, I know one of them who is trying to create, has already created a solution to
Who is watching us right now.
Who is watching us right now, hopefully, to try and answer to how do we make tax compliance something that's easy and seamless.
Right.
But that is a part also talking to inclusion, economic inclusion, financial inclusion. But it's talking to sustainable inclusion, which means everyone that seeks to be doing whatever they are doing must find it easy to comply with tax rules, tax requirements, and they don't have to be spending too much money just to comply with those requirements. And I believe that, when you look at things coming out of the Innovation Hub that way, you start to see the social impacts, you start to see the economic dividends in the broader sense, which is how we then select some of these players.
So tell me, you see them, then they come to you. What support do you give them? Can we get into that? So they're now in the 8to5 Innovation Hub. What support are you giving them?
The 8to5 Innovation Hub is a special shared workspace in the one sense, but it is an enriched one to support startups who want to access various forms of support. And the way that we have designed the support that we extend to these startups is probably in three ways. So firstly, just the shared workspace, startups interacting amongst themselves. You would have different types of them coming through, individuals still at idea level and they want to perfect their ideas, so there is space to ideate, interacting with people from different sectors. So that in itself is rich experience, them interacting amongst themselves.
Absolutely.
Over this time, Trevor, we have seen about 600 participants amongst them corporates, more than 60, who are coming in to benefit. And we call them corporates, but they're small businesses.
Of course.
But they are there as they interact, also an inspiration to those that are still at earlier stages.
It becomes an ecosystem.
It becomes an ecosystem on its own. So that's the one form. But we have also assembled a resource base of professionals, of people with experiences. We draw from the wider, economic landscape in terms of who has gone through similar journeys. And they come through to support these youngsters on programs that would run, for various time scales. So these are scheduled, they are planned, but they are carefully designed so that they are answering to what these startups or these participants are looking for. They are drawn from within Old Mutual. They are drawn from other places that we believe will lend relevant skills. So that's the second one. But there's the third one, which is to ensure that they can connect with their own value chains.
Wow.
Regardless of where they are, there is already an existing value chain. And we would always seek to make sure that they get access into those linkages so that they can see where the market is, they can see where the supply side is, they can see where they can access the various resources, including financing. So in addition to what we would do in our own space, we also make it visible to them where else they can access different forms of support. So within their value chain.
Fascinating, because essentially what you are doing is, it's lonely being a startup, but you're creating this environment where they are sitting together with others who are ideating and implementing some of their ideas. That can be very stimulating, isn't it?
Very stimulating. I think there are testimonies from amongst them that have said, it's the first time I've met so and so, or I actually didn't know these infrastructure are available for us to access. Some have grown markets from just connecting, with other value chain players, and they have found themselves now having even more encouragement to go back and do more of what they would have done. Right. We have seen startups that had just an individual running something grow to employing a few people because this ecosystem has given them both the confidence that what they are doing is in the right direction, but also access to the various factors that would be critical to their success, including markets and linkages into those markets.
Fantastic. Sam, I'm going to stop you there. At home, don't go away. When we come back, Sam, I want us to go to the value creation competition, which is absolutely exciting. And also the fact that you're actually taking the hub idea into making it a standalone commercial entity. Very exciting stuff. So don't go away at home. We see you on the other side.
Are you an entrepreneur with a groundbreaking idea? Do you want to turn your vision into reality? 8to5 is excited to invite you to this year's edition of the Value Creation Challenge. To apply, you must have a prototype or a minimum viable product (MVP) that is 0 to 2 years old. Run a business with a main focus on emerging industries, sustainability, the creative industry, and innovative tech. Applications are open to all entrepreneurs across Zimbabwe. Visit 8to5.co.zw to apply. Fill in all the required details and turn your entrepreneurial vision into reality. Join us in building Zimbabwe's next big idea.
Welcome back to In Conversation with Trevor Startup Series in partnership with 8to5 Innovation Hub, powered by Old Mutual Group Zimbabwe. Our guest is Sam. Sam, so when we took the break, I want us to go to the value creation competition. There's a lot
Sure.
of excitement around that. Break it down for us. What does it entail?
The Value Creation Challenge is an initiative, a special one, that we operate at the Eight2Five Innovation Hub in partnership with the British Council and the British Embassy, which came on board last year. And it is designed to open it out as a wider, net that we cast to try and invite as many as we can to a challenge.
Yeah.
A challenge based on the ideas that they have. If they have already started some initiatives, they are initiatives. And it is to culminate in a place where those that have been successful are enrolled onto a special program of interventions at the Innovation Hub. And the interventions designed to see them through to the next level. Whatever that next level is, which depends on where they are. But it is to ultimately, get a few, at least if we can get a few out of this challenge, that will become successful businesses.
Right.
And a cohort which we will call, businesses out of this particular value creation challenge. And it is episode 4, which makes us proud that we are actually on episode 4. But it is one where we look to see, like we did before, a number of people from across the country getting interested and enrolling or applying onto the program.
You see, saying you're excited, season 4, you've had some successful stories, isn't it? Like Farm Buzz, like TextPal. Should we get into those that have been successful, that make you guys proud of what you're doing?
We are very proud about some of the startups that have come through this program before. The examples you give, if you think about TextPal, creating a solution which makes it very easy for anyone. You don't have to be a professional to, do your tax returns, comply with tax requirements. I think I alluded to it earlier.
Yeah.
But doing it so that you can access it on platforms that are easy to navigate, on a platform that's easy to navigate. And by just answering a few basic questions, you have got your various returns out and ready to be submitted. I think that is one. And but another one, we supported a young farmer in the Honde Valley. Honde Valley has got a very interesting story about how people just got into the bananas, growing bananas, farming bananas. But most of them, I think if you look at the tonnage that's produced there, we're going to waste, or we're at risk of going to waste. And a creative idea to make dried foods out of the bananas. Something that is now evolved into a range of products from bananas, including banana flour, banana chips, dried and handled in a way that now it can be packaged, exported to reach markets that are further afield. So, and this is growing. It's an interesting one. But we do have others, many, one involved in recycling waste, making construction products out of waste, and things that were called rubbish becoming useful material.
For me, the beauty with that, seeing some of the team that came to the Ideas Festival, the excitement is there's so much innovation out there. And you are providing that launch pad for these innovative, creative people to launch into real enterprises. But tell me, what challenges do you think they are experiencing? That they're coming across, the hurdles that they have to overcome. What has been your experience?
And invariably, most of them, they are always wanting role models. We are in a market or a world where people have ideas, but they they are lacking in terms of who can they aspire or look up to. And meaningfully so in terms of accessing them for advice, mentorship of some sort. So they've got brilliant ideas, but they just see that there is some block, in terms of how can they be supported to the next level. And I think the models that they might see sometimes are not exactly the right ones in terms of how they would seek to develop their business. That's one. But sometimes you also see that they just lack the basic knowledge and understanding of what else is involved in the industry that they are going to be operating. How do they shape their businesses? How do they make the idea convert into something that's commercially viable and can start to sell itself and therefore grow, but more importantly, grow sustainably? A number of them would tell you, I started something, I stopped, and I got onto another, I stopped. I suppose that's part of entrepreneurship. But some of it is because they couldn't get this support.
That hand to move you to the next step.
To move you to the next step, including just showcasing the ideas. I'll tell you, Trevor, one of the things that we did just this recent ZITF, we took some of those to go and showcase what they have to offer on our stand. So we had a section there for our participants, the Eight2Five Innovation Hub. And they came back and said, I've connected with more people.
Beautiful.
I didn't realize that, in fact, what I have is demanded by somebody. And somebody was saying, I've met a trucker, somebody who is into trucks that handle waste, who was looking for players, and some of what I do actually fits perfectly into what, and I've solutioned.
That's exposure.
That's exposure.
Yeah.
So that's the second thing, just exposure. Getting them to be visible, getting them to see more people, and from it, navigate to the next level. So I would say, but the other one is really just to be able to get confident, to be confident that they are on the right path, to be assured, and that assurance comes variously. It comes from the interactions they have amongst themselves, but it also comes from how they see people attest, to experiences similar to theirs, and tell of success stories.
Absolutely.
So they have got something now to work towards.
I'm excited, Sam, that people out there are noticing what you're doing. The British Embassy has come on board. The British Council has come on board. Who else is buying into this vision that you guys have?
We have a number of individuals, professionals, that have come in and really supported us. Some to help us discharge some of the programs, and volunteer even to say, I will give in some of my time just to come and be with the youngsters. Government has also come through.
Beautiful.
We have hosted, I think, 2 ministers at the Innovation Hub who are interested in what we are doing and how we can scale this up in terms of its reach or its impact. They gave us a vote of confidence, which I believe says we are on the right track. And I think it is our opportunity also to get them to interact with these participants. They can relate with what policy interventions can also be supportive of these startups in our environment. Corporates would be interested. I'm sure that with time we will see them come through. For now, I think we are at a stage where we are saying, given what we have, if there are any that might also find themselves wanting to do things at the Innovation Hub, we can be open to that and enrich the...
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier, and we can enrich the offering. Yes.
Udugu, is it Udugu
Udugu is there. They are actually our partner in terms of the administration and the running of some of the programs that we run at the Innovation Hub. So they have been there from the start, from the time that we launched.
From where I see it, and push back on this as much as you may, I would say this is a place where you don't mind having lots of competition, lots of people starting innovation hubs. for the benefit of the economy. Would you want to hog the light, or would you say, come, let's share this space?
You are right. There are many innovation hubs. We wouldn't say we're the only ones. I know of other players in the market that have got innovation hubs that they are operating. Our approach and attitude would be where we can work together.
Yeah.
If it makes sense for the people that are supposed to benefit from our interventions, and if we can make it more scalable,
Right.
then why not? So if those opportunities arise where we can work alongside other innovation hubs on a particular program or a particular series, we will always be open to that. This is not a place where we say we are competing and we've got to protect turf. It's a space where we can say, where we ought to say, how much more can we do?
Absolutely.
And is there a way that we can do more, reach a wider, set of people that can benefit from our interventions?
I'm excited, Sam, that you are actually transitioning this into a commercial unit. You are putting in more resources into this. Talk to us about that big goal going forward.
Indeed, the Eight2Five Innovation Hub is a place and an initiative where we would like to do more, to invest more, make it even more impactful than it has been, now running 4 years. We would like to allocate more resources. We have financed some of the startups. You would have seen us do so through some kind of venture capital, small amounts. But we would like to explore ways to scale that up. That's the one item, given that financing is always a requirement for startups. But we would also like to ensure that we can harness an ecosystem that makes some of our programs accessible even beyond what's happening inside the hub. So which means, as one was saying when we were at the ZITF, can we ensure that in Blawayo, for example, we have got something that can also run sustainably for similar sort of beneficiaries. And we are also looking at how can we broaden it into the other centers across the country, even if it's non-presence, but ways that we can actually say that we can be visible, but also, more importantly, impactful in those communities.
Fantastic, Sam. Thank you so much for creating the time to join us. Sam, what you're doing for us is very important because we are passionate about nation building, and nation building is about creating opportunities for the wider population to find ways of supporting themselves, job creation, which is what you're doing, mentorship, skills development, economic development does not happen without jobs, without employers and employees. So, Sam, thank you so much for partnering us as far as this series is concerned. We will be getting into talking to some of the guys that have passed through the value creation and the Eight2Five Hub. Thank you so much for that opportunity. Sit there whilst I go out to the viewers who are all over the world to say thank you so much for supporting us. We'll be bringing you amazing guys that are doing great stuff with their startups who've been to the Eight2Five Hub that is powered by Old Mutual. Until the next startup guest, cheers to you all.